it's Jo from Angels and Ancestors. My apologies for being away for so long. What with the house and pneumonia and God knows what else, I've been in a bit of a pickle. So I'm back doing readings for March. Bit on the slow side, but that's nothing new. And we're just going to crack on. So we're using the Law of Positivism cards, the Green Witch Tarot, and of course the Trusted Angels and Ancestors deck. So my darlings, I've done the earth signs, I've done the air signs, and clearly there was a pattern with the earth signs, that there was a lot of clearing out to do, a lot of understanding where other people were holding them back through whatever means. With the air signs, although there was a theme there, a spiritual theme, they were completely different. So Gemini they had to do a lot of work on themselves. Libra had a big learning curve about not trusting people, even those people that are closest to them. And Aquarius, whole new ball game for Aquarius. I think it's going to be a bit alien for them, but we'll see how they get on with it. So now we're on to the fire signs, and Aries, you are the first up for March. So we're going to get your energy card out. Over there, let's get me bings on. And you have 49. When you add that together, it becomes a 13. Add it together again, it becomes a 4. What is it that you're holding on to? Life is a dream within a dream. Have you been dreaming about the same thing over and over again and not been able to push it through into reality? I'm kind of getting that this big thing that's happening in March started with the new moon on the 28th of February. And on the 1st of March, we had some cycles going in with the planets, and we've got Venus going into retrograde. We've got the full moon round about the middle of the month, and then we've got the equinox as well. Depending on where you are in the world, it's going to be the spring or the autumn equinox. So going by all of that, this is actually the real start of 2025. Everybody was down in the doldrums. Everybody couldn't work out what the energies were about for January and February. It's almost like there was an extension to 2024. And 2025 should be the year of new beginnings. So it's a number 9 year, it's a manifestation year, it's everything. Yeah, it is what you're going to make it to be. So let's see what the cards have got to say about your life's dream within a dream. Have you been kidding? Oh God, that keeps coming out nearly every damn reading. Have you been holding on to a dream for too long? Oh gosh, no, sorry. That's not going to happen. And when I say too long, without making it into reality, you know, have you been kidding yourself that you're living the dream, but in actual fact, you've come to a standstill? And you may be really successful in business, successful in putting projects and plans together, because you're very good at that sort of stuff. But being able to make that one last thing reality seems to be eluding my Aries for some reason. And I think that this is all part of being honest with yourself about what that actual dream is. And you may have to go back. This is an apprenticeship card. You may need to backtrack. You may need to backstep to find out and rediscover what that original, oh yes, say what that original dream was. Yeah, okay. Let's get the cards out and then I'll start the reading. Movement journey for Aries, please. That was going to fall out on it, didn't it? Thank you. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I do get this. Reconnecting to your true self. Very nice. Outcome for Aries, please. That one's been out quite a bit as well. A lot of juggling going on. Okay. Well, started your what the fuck? You got the apprenticeship card. I'm getting that you're really successful in a lot of aspects of your life, but there is something eluding you, and it's almost like you've had all this success, but you still don't know what it is that you want out of life. You still don't understand the whole purpose of this success. There's an element that is missing, and that brings me back to the apprenticeship. The door is partly open for receiving opportunities. You've got a well-equipped toolkit, but you keep perpetually learning stuff for some reason. There's something eluding you. There's something that's not quite the ticket. Now, whether this is in your work life or your personal life, your spiritual life, your sensual life, I don't know. They're not giving me an indication of that, but they are giving me a lot of childhood indications within the reading. There's an element of magic that you feel is missing. You don't know that it's missing, but you know something's missing. Does that make any bloody sense at all? Because I won't say an element of magic missing. I went, no, they don't even know it's there. You just don't know what it is that's missing. That one piece, that jigsaw puzzle. You know, you've got like a 5,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. You get it all together, and then you're scrambling around the floor. You keep looking in the box because there's this one integral piece that's missing that would finish off the whole puzzle. And it's kind of like, well, where the fuck is it? What is it? What bit is it that's missing? How did that happen? I bought it brand new. It was sealed. It's got to be here somewhere. It's just eluding you a little bit. So go back in time. Backtrack your steps over what it is that you've learned over many years. Go right the way back. Almost like a this life regression. Take yourself back in steps. What was you doing last year? What was you doing 5 years ago? What was you doing 10 years ago? And keep going back until you remind yourself what that missing piece is. Because I think you've got it. I just don't think you can recall it. It's kind of got drowned out by everything else. All the other successes. It's kind of got drowned. It's got lost in the mist of time. That's what they're saying. It's got lost in the mist of time. Yeah, see, life is a dream within a dream. Okay. So when you think about the fours, holding on to something, taking a rest, not crying over spilt milk, what's the other one? What's the fourth one? Oh, celebration. Oh, you're missing a celebration. Is this something that you really, really wanted and it's never really come to you? You've kind of had the dream life, but it's still been a dream. What's that even mean? Oh, God, this is cryptic. Oh, I get it. Okay. So, for all the world to say, you've had the dream life, you've had the business, you've had what it is that you've wanted to achieve, you've had the family, you've had this, you've had that, or you're just coming onto the brink of all of this. So for you, those of you that are older, that have had all of this, there's still something missing. There's still that dream element to one of your pursuits that didn't quite go right, and you can't recall what it was that you was dreaming of. You can't recall what it was that would make that your absolute 100% dream life. And that's what they're saying, a dream within a dream. Backtrack. Do this life regression. Take yourself back. What was it you were doing? And do it in different aspects. Do it in your business. Do it in your personal life. Keep them separate and see which one it is that you kind of like felt that it was the dream thing that you was living, but in actual fact, you're lying to yourself. And although it may have been happy in a lot of elements and it may have been happy in a lot of ways, there's something missing. There's something that is not making your soul sing. It's almost like you will know what it is once you've got it. Once you understand what that missing piece is, you go, that's it. That was it. It's the identification of that. So it's still an apprenticeship. It doesn't have to be formal learning. It doesn't have to be even formal learning. It could just be a life's lesson. It could just be that by thinking you're missing out on something has stopped you learning how to appreciate everything else around you. And therefore it may already be with you, but you just keep thinking it's not with you. Oh gosh, this is going to be a real cryptic one. I can just feel it coming. Aries, what are you up to? So here you are, number 4, another 4. Horned God. He is the keeper. He is the advocate for everything in nature. And that includes you and me. It includes everything. He's got that, I don't know, is that a rook or a crow that's whispering in his ear? He's getting messages that he needs to step up to the plate. He needs to give everything and everybody a voice. Now, this is you facing your fears and taking your power back. So perhaps you have been the voice for everything and everyone, but you've forgotten yourself in that scope of things. You haven't voiced your opinion. You haven't said as it is. You haven't been able to say to yourself, this is what I need, this is what I want, this is where I'm going with this. You haven't been able to verbalise, you haven't advocated for yourself and what it is that you want. So facing your fear is understanding. It's great being an advocate for everybody else, but don't lose yourself in that I'm going to say perpetual circle of trying to do the right thing. Now again, with 4s, you know you're holding on to something. You need to take a rest from it. You don't need to cry over spilt milk, because when something spills, we just need to let it go. We need to move into transitional mode and just move on, because other things will come our way to fill that void. It always does. But taking your power back is having the good sense and the good strength of the Horned God to know that everything has to be in equality. Everything has to be equal. So where you are advocating for others, where you are speaking up for others, where you are doing things for others, you now need to do that for you. And that's how you will face your fears and take your power back. Nobody's going to think any less of you for stepping back and taking a breath. Nobody is going to point the finger and go, well, he weren't there, was he? Or she weren't there, was she? For taking some time out to recharge your batteries. It's so important to do that. So, your manifestation, your wish fulfillment, and why it may be fucked. There's something that you left behind. Now, it could go back to childhood. Childhood for me is anything up to the age of 25. There's a lot of reminiscence going on. There could be a possible reunion happening. But that canary's in a cage, and once it's out of the cage, there's no putting it back in. So there may be a shared memory with somebody that you need to get off your chest, that you need to get out into the big wide open. But once you do, there's no putting it back. Now, if this is a reminiscence card of recent years, there is something that you left behind in a childlike manner. It's almost like you threw your teddy in the corner and walked away. And now you are hankering after having that reunion, having that reminiscence, recapturing that moment and going over that ground. That's not really reality, is it? You may sit there and think, oh, it would have been nice, it would have been this, it would have been that. Would it? How are you going to know? So with your manifestations, darlings, if it's a shared experience that you need to air something over, fantastic, go and do it. If it's not a shared experience and you threw your teddy in the corner and you walked away and now you're hankering after that, just keep in mind the other person may have moved on. They may not have done, but they may have moved on. They may have come to some sort of resolution that this ain't going to happen. So when you're manifesting, keep in mind that we can't manifest for other people. We can only manifest for ourselves. And although we might have something or somebody in mind, we need to keep that open. So if it's a person you're trying to manifest, you can give the description if you want to, but I would always end it, or someone better. And the same with an object or a thing or a job or something better. Whatever you're doing, describe it. You know, I like to keep things loose. I like tall, dark and handsome or something better. Who knows what's going to bloody turn up. If it's a job, I know that I want to be earning good money. I do not want to be doing a job after all the training I've done for crap money. I'm not doing it. So I set my parameters. This is the minimum. There is no maximum to what I can earn, but there is a minimum. So I set the parameters and then I go, or something better, because you may find that something comes your way that isn't within those parameters, but the actual thing itself is so fucking good that you really, really, really want to give it your best shot. And then you're kind of like, can I make do on this just for a while? Can I tap into another stream of income to make this work? Because this is a job that I really, really want. Or this is an item that I really, really want. I really want this car. So how am I going to make everything stretched to get that? So when it comes to manifestation, speak as if you've already got it. You're already in that relationship. You're already in that job. You've already got that car. You've just got to have a little bit of imagination. So if you're slipping into your car, you're seeing the badge that you want in front of you and you are just floating on a cloud in the car that you want. The job, when you are going to work, doesn't matter whether you work from home or in an office, you step into work mode, you step into that job that you are wanting. You don't step into your current job, you step into the energy of the other job that you want. And the same with a relationship. You don't step into something you already know. A relationship should be new, exciting, discovering, all of those sort of things. And that's what you want to step into, is the excitement of the new person coming towards you. How's that make you feel? Is your stomach turning? Do you feel a bit sicky? Have you got a little bit of a headache? You know, that sort of thing. And it's kind of like all the chemicals need to be going, need to be churning, so that you're doing this for yourself. But this reminiscence, go back, see where it all kind of started with the apprenticeship card. Advocate for yourself and understand that your manifestations aren't fucked. They're just held up a little bit with all the debris. So you need to do some cleansing and clearing. Very simple. It's making room for new growth to happen. And that is really, really easy. It's just getting rid of what no longer serves you. Loads of different ways to do that. You can write it down on a piece of paper and cut it up. If there's somebody that you really want to forget about and you don't want them in your life anymore, write their name on a piece of toilet paper, flush it down the loo. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. I don't know where this freezer spell came from. And the one thing that worries me about the freezer spell is you write their name down on a piece of paper, freeze them in the freezer, and then all of a sudden you've got all these papers with different people's names on it, frozen in the freezer. What are you going to do when they defrost? On a piece of toilet paper, flush it down the loo. It's as simple as that. And that lets them go and be free. Off you go. So, movement journey, where the fuck you need to be. You need to be more open to every aspect in your life, including spring, summer, winter and autumn. You need to know that there is seasons for a reason, and every reason has its season. Every opportunity has its season. And if that season has eluded you for whatever reason, you need to change old skin. You need to shed the old ways of thinking and allow some new thinking to come through. Look at the oak tree. Its roots, its bore root runs deep to sustain itself, to give it that sturdy, anchoring feeling into the ground. But it's also got roots that splay out across the top of the ground, and that sends resources to young saplings. So just like a tree, you're going to be doing the same thing. The world tree is about a cycle coming in, being spent and ending, and then starting a new cycle, and then starting a new cycle. It's never ending. Cycles are supposed to come in, be for us for a while, and then leave us with a new cycle opening up. So if you've been stuck in one cycle, it's because you have not been allowing that cycle to close off to allow a new cycle to come in towards you. So what can you do about this situation? As soon as I laid this down, I was like, oh my God, you took yourself off into shadow. You took yourself off and you stepped back away from the life that you knew, and you took a deep breath, and that's where you stayed. I was quite comfortable here actually. It's time to emerge like the butterfly. It's time to make those wishes that you've got with the Lord of Shadows. The number 13 is time for an ending and a new beginning. And that new beginning is you stepping on that pathway and allowing that sun to be on your face once more. It's another number 4. A 1 and a 3 is a 4. So it's 3 4s that you've got. So my guess is that they're trying to tell you that your angel number is 444 or 4444. Go and look it up. It is quite interesting, all this stuff. But what you need to do is step back out onto that pathway of life. And it may be that you've got yourself stuck in a rut about your job and you're like, oh, well, I might as well just stay. I'm used to it now. Why? If you're not happy, why would you do that? Yeah, it's like, I know lots of people that have given up on the dating scene. The dating apps are actually dying because people are so sick of them. And people are like, well, I'm better off on my own, and I. Are you? Are you better off on your own? Are you remembering all the bad and not the good? Are you thinking that it doesn't matter what relationship you get into, it's going to be the same as all the others? Don't be so closed off to opportunities. You're making things obstacles instead of opportunities. So when you step out and you let that sun on your face and you're taking this step towards that wishing well, emerging like a butterfly, a spiritual being, you need to allow yourself, 1, to finish the cycle off, but 2, allow the new possibilities of everything that is brand new, never experienced before, brand new. You'll be pleasantly surprised. So what is out of your hands? Page of Chalices. You're not going to get a choice in this. There is somebody around you, maybe a younger generation, who has a similar interest to you, and you are surprised by that, because it's kind of like in this big world of technology, all of a sudden you've got this young person who wants to do something that is not highly technical. It is skillful, but it's not highly technical. And what this little page is doing is holding this chalice going, you love this as much as I do. And this could be your inner child, just holding on to that. Hold on to the love that you had for this. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be painting, writing, could be cooking, could be skiing, could be anything. Doesn't matter. But this page is saying, hold on to that love, hold on to that chalice, because that chalice has got all your wants and needs in it. It's got all your affirmations, all your manifestations, all your dreams, all your love, your joy, your happiness. Everything is wrapped up in that as you saw it as a child. Now, the river here has been dammed up. This lovely little beaver is building a dam because it's trying to stem that emotion. It's trying to hold back the floodgates of getting you to remember what it is that made the blood flow through your veins, that what it is that made your heart pump a little bit faster, what it is that made your soul sing loudly. So just know this little page is bringing a message from the universe. There is no stopping yourself from going through this. That's why they're asking you to do the apprenticeship, to look at the things that are blocking you rather than the opportunities, the obstacles that you've put in your way. But they really do want you to go back to your younger years to reevaluate what it was that made you shut this down. It was a massive dream of yours, but you've shut it down, and you need to locate where that bloody jigsaw puzzle piece is. You need to locate it, because you will go through the rest of your life without discovering what it was, and then you've got to come back and do it all again. Simple. Reconnecting to your true self. You feel quite triumphant, don't you, with a battle wagon? Look at me. Why, I'm really great at this. And then the universe is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, okay, it's a number 7. You've got options, choices and blessings here, but you're not in control. You may feel like you've won the battle, but there's still a war that's raging within you. You still don't know where you're going, what you're doing. And the universe is saying, sit back and enjoy the journey. Your hands on those reins. You've got one hand on a spear. You've got the other hand mid-air. And these two horses are galloping forward. They will take you where you need to be. You just need to have the faith to be able to sit back and enjoy the journey. Not the destination, not where you're going to head towards, but the actual journey itself, the twists, the turns, the roundabouts, the forks in the road, the meeting of new people, the merging of new ideas, projects, plans and people. Aries, that's what you're about. That's what you do. And you do it with such passion and desire that it can be overwhelming for other people to see. But the one thing that I can see from this reading is that passion and desire needs to be married up with your emotions. You've got a lot of chalices on this deck. You've got one here, you've got a chalice over here because that is going to be Cancer. You've got a chalice here. It is just saying to you in reams, connect your passion and desire with your emotions, and it's going to be formidable. You will attract what it is that you so desire. But you need to find it. You need to find your mojo, my loves. Outcome. Been juggling quite a lot, haven't we? Out of balance, out of whack, robbing Peter to pay Paul. The clouds are parting, the blue skies are coming through at long last. We're all sort of going, oh wow, what's that yellow ball in the sky? It's time to put your feet back onto terra firma. It's time to ground yourself. It is time to bring your investments closer together. So you may have well got a really sturdy investment here, but this is the one that you've been juggling. This is the one that you've been kind of like, I need to keep it going. I need it up in the air because I need it to be catching energy. I need it to do this. I need it to do that. It's now time to bring it back and feel a bit more balanced about what it is that you are doing. It's also, with this little fox in the background, it's also about being, living on your wits. It's also about, do I just stand here and watch for a while? Do I evaluate the situation? Or am I going to be a little bit sneaky and sneak in here and see what I can steal away? It's that kind of thing. So with a little fox, as we all know, they've been completely maligned, foxes, over the years by farmers and landowners and all the rest of it. But they're quite spiritual little beings. They survive on very little. You know, nature is in the beast. And I have to say, most Aries that I know, when they go after something, they go for the kill. It's either all or nothing. And I think that one of the things that you need to explore with yourself is, were you, or have you, or are you still in that mode that it's all or nothing? Or are you willing to now be a little bit more wise, a little bit more, let's step back and have a look. Let's just dip the toe in the water instead of setting it alight. Who knows? So what's hidden from you? Queen of Chalices. That's going to be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio if you're interested in what it is, male or female. She is this beautiful queen that sits on her throne in the ocean because she understands the healing property that the ocean offers as it laps around your feet. The absorption of all the minerals, all the magnesium, all the potassium, everything is in that sea. Everything that we need is in the sea. And we can absorb that through our feet. We don't need to physically take it. For those of you that like the sea, brilliant. For those of you who don't like the sea, not so good. However, she's coming in holding this chalice, just like the little page here, to remind you that you don't give your chalice away. Your chalice is yours to fill up with all your wants and needs, your love, joy, hope, happiness, all of that sort of stuff goes in that chalice, and you retain that. Because what you want to do is, when you're looking at somebody else's chalice, and this doesn't matter, it could be for a job, it could be for a person, it could be for a situation, the chalice that is offered back to you has to match. It doesn't have to be identical inside, but if somebody's offering you a half empty chalice, not a half full, a half empty chalice, it means they're after the content of your stuff, and they will steal it away. And what she's saying to you is, no, you hold on to it, you hold on to your chalice. It's the overspill that you offer to other people, not the contents of your chalice. That's your dreams. That's your manifestations, your wish fulfillments. She's also the queen of diversion. So you may find that in March, you are diverting yourself off to give things a good think about. Nobody likes getting hurt. Nobody likes being hurt. Nobody likes dishing that out. But there may be something that was quite painful that you need to divert away, go and lick your wounds, get it straight in your head exactly what it was that happened, what made you feel like that, and then have your voice and be honest about what it was. Doesn't matter, you can be honest with yourself, you can be honest with the universe. You don't have to front anybody out over this. Just be honest about what it was that happened that made you feel the way you feel, that is blocking you, that's giving you these obstacles. You know, and these aren't little obstacles. In your head, these obstacles are like bloody mountains. Sorry, lovelies. Somebody trying to get hold of me. Okay, so we're going to ask the angels and the ancestors for some knowledge, wisdom and guidance. I think your key, this dream within a dream, we need to bust that wide open. We need to get you to recognise what that was, and that is going to be your link to everything else. Anything else for Aries, please? Thank you. Okay, my darlings, direction guardian, choose your path. Yeah. Rejoining the pathway, choose your path. Now, if you look at this card, you have got earth, air, fire and water all in the same picture. We know you're a fire sign, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that is your governing thing. You need to look at your birth chart to find out what your rising sign is, what your moon sign is, and particularly what your north node is. So although I'm a double air water, I'm actually, my north node is in fire. So there is a burning desire to succeed, but because it's watered down as far as I'm concerned, I don't always hit the mark. But it is choosing your pathway and sticking with it. No U-turns, just stick with it. Heart Guardian. This is so obvious in this reading. Love and let yourself be loved. You need to love yourself first. You need to appreciate who you are first. And then other people will see that in you. And then that will attract the right kind of people. It doesn't matter whether you're interested in a person, project or plan, but it will attract the right people to get it going. Arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. That doesn't mean that you close yourself off and you start jabbing people with an arrow. It means protective energy. It means letting the negativity bounce off and the positivity to come in towards you. I do love this card. Spirit Fox. You've got Fox here, and then you've got Spirit Foxes coming. Trust your talents in changing times. You are incredibly talented, but you boo-hoo it. It's another obstacle. It's another obstacle. If people are saying, my God, that's good what you do, thank you very much. It's really nice to be appreciated. Accept that energy from another person. It's important. It will recharge your batteries. Father Sky, trust in the unknown. What was I saying? Unless we've experienced something, it is the unknown. You know, we have to think about all our life's experiences and the stuff we haven't experienced. Until we do, it's unknown. Change your perspective. Have a little bit more faith in what is energy around you. Not what's tangible, not what you can see, not the aesthetics, but the actual energy that is around you. An elder. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Whenever I get that, I do get that people repeat situations and things that they're taught by the generations that have gone on before them. And you kind of get stuck in a pattern. You kind of get stuck in the ancestors' way of doing things. We're not in the ancestors' mode. You're not dead yet. You will be one day and you will be an ancestor. But until then, you need to be carving your pathway out. And you need to move beyond the ancestral teachings and find things that you want to find for yourself. Opportunities. So, my darlings, that is your reading for March. I hope it was of some help to you wherever you are in the world. Please be safe and I will catch you in the next reading. Bye for now.